It's now 7 o'clock. I'll call the regular meeting of Annual Council for January 15th, 2025 to order, please. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I, Councillor Heislip, move to approve the agenda.
Second, please.
I, Councillor Holt, move to second.
And we have the consent section. Has everybody gone over that? Can I get a
The
motion?
vote on the,
Vote on it.
Oh, sorry. Trying to get ahead of myself. Any questions, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Contrary minded? Motion carried, thank you. Moving on to the consent section, can I get a motion to adopt the
I,
consent section?
Councillor Mackenzie, move to adopt the consent section.
I, Councillor Craig, second.
Any comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. Any disclosures tonight, council?
I, Councillor Holt, have a conflict with 6A.
Which one, 6A?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Any others? We're good? No public input, as far as I know. And presentations, we have a presentation from the CRSC, and we also have a presentation from the Hamlet Park Academy. Caitlin Clark is here, I believe.
So
We'll do the, step it order a bit, we'll do Caitlin's first.
sure.
If he could come back,
Want me to call back?
if he wants, if you're not.
Yeah, if
you're gonna switch the order.
If you're gonna switch the order, then he doesn't have to be gone for that.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I don't see anybody here for CRSC yet.
We're
They're
gonna do
not,
Caitlin first.
we told them.
They're
We said
not
it's
here.
a long, longer coming.
Okay, seems to me.
So we'll talk about it.
All right, Caitlin, you're up.
I'm good? Okay. Wonderful. Hi, I'm
Hello.
Caitlin Clark. I am the PSSC Chair at Hamlet Park Academy, the Parent School Committee, and Vicki here is our Vice Chair. I'm going to keep it short and sweet for you all tonight. Nobody wants to stay extra long listening to these sorts of things, I think, on a Wednesday, but basically why I'm here is we are, as the Parent School Committee, we have two objectives. The first is to help inform the school improvement plan, partner with the staff, the students, help action and guide what that school improvement plan looks like. Our second objective is to help bridge and be a liaison between the community and the school. Our school is very new, and we have this wonderful opportunity in front of us to help create more community with the school inclusive, or help bridge, I think, a lot more partnerships, a lot more connection with the individuals, the businesses, the council. And so we are working on right now a strategic plan. We have a draft, very rough draft, work in progress. And we're going to be working through this over the next couple of weeks as a committee. And so my goal tonight is, number one, just to share high level what our objectives are to inform this committee. And number two is to assess what kind of interest the committee or individuals on the committee might have in, say, joining some of our workshops or providing feedback offline on the plan. I'll pause there for questions before I jump in. None? Okay. Great. So I attached, I think, and I don't know what you have. There's like I said, it's very much work in progress. There's some missing information, a lot of words in there. The high level is three things. Number one, we want to increase the awareness of what is happening at the school. There's a ton of great things that I learn every month at our parent-teacher committee meeting that I never knew was even occurring. And so if I don't know, I think there's a lot of folks who don't know. So I think helping create a source of truth place, whether that be our Hamlet Park Academy website and helping to market it through different community channels, but creating more awareness in the community of what the school is doing and what it's there to help the community with. It's not just a place where our school needs help from the community, but there's lots of students, staff, and a beautiful resource in that school that's available for community members as well. So it goes both ways. The second is partnerships with our businesses. Today I think there's a couple small partnerships, but again, there's really great opportunities where students are trying to learn. How great would it be to have a student attend, like a work in a business, for local business for a day, or have one of the businesses come to the school on the career days and share a little bit more about the business, and it doesn't just have to be students, parents. So how do we create some of that connection in the community with our businesses? And the third is within this council as well, or our community center. I know, for example, Dave, you helped introduce the choir for the Christmas tree lighting, things like that, where we can just help provide, again, opportunities where maybe there's students who can help organize. Things like the Halloween walk could be great if the students want to help set up stuff like that and use their time and give them some projects and things like that. So those are our 3 goals: awareness and communication, partners with our businesses, the council, and then also individuals as well, I guess is the last one. There's a lot of mentorship opportunities, a lot of volunteering, and a lot of programs our parent and teacher committee would like to start running in the school. Say, for example, social media awareness classes, or different things that maybe not just parents and students in that elementary K-8, but maybe high school students or other communities in this, other individuals who don't have students at Hamilton Park might want to attend. And that's it. That's all for our goals. Vicki, anything else?
No, you covered it nicely.
Any questions on that so far?
Well, we're letting you off easy.
I know, I was expecting more, but it's okay. So I think my question would be, number 1, if there's any, I guess, what the protocol might be to help keep you informed as we progress on the plan. And the second part of that is how or who, if anyone, would like to be involved. We're making our next meeting, January 29th, a workshop where we're gonna, use all the stickies and plan and pick which opportunities we want to try to achieve for in the remainder of the school year. So if there's any interest, if anybody would like to join, either now or can reach out to me as well. Those are my 2 asks.
It all sounds very interesting, really.
How often are you going to be meeting?
So our larger committee meets once a month. We actually have the largest parent school committee in all of the districts for active parents and volunteers, which is pretty great. And so we meet once a month, and then we probably will meet one other time outside of that meeting as a smaller committee, just to hash out any remaining items, and we usually do that virtually versus in person, just to give people a little bit more of a break.
Are there any other committees around in the district that have an opportunity to be involved in, or to bring a council in? Is there any other example, like in New Maryland or?
Yes, actually the Gibson Neal Elementary has done the same. They have a couple different programs where they immerse different councils and kind of connect to bridge that gap. I think there's a lot of that mentorship and coaching that happens. I think they have an entrepreneurship program that they do for the elementary school kids, and they do something with that. But they run a business as a student, and it's kind of an interesting endeavor. I know that Ruth mentioned a few others, but I don't know them off the top of my head. So we are not the first. In terms of the next steps, I don't know how I leave that, so.
Yeah, is there any ask from council at the moment that I guess is the next question?
I would just say, I think if there's any feedback that you can provide, recommendations when you check out our top challenges, and I'm happy to walk through what our top challenges are right now. Or, again, if there's anyone interested in attending either just the January workshop or anything thereafter.
January workshop's like the 29th?
29th at 6 p.m.
And it's at the school.
Yes, at the school. We like to get people in there so they can see how awesome it is, and then they're hooked.
It is an
Try the
awesome school.
cafeteria food.
Yeah, I've heard, my daughter tells me it's the best pizza in the city, so.
Oh, there.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
It's high praise.
That's right.
I will try this.
Yes, sure, and no one needs to commit in this moment, but just wondering, want to make sure that I bring it to you all, and if there's any interest, you can feel free. I think you'll have my information
Yeah.
with Vicki, so we welcome anyone who wants to attend.
My son would love it if I went to the prison.
Wonderful, well, thank you for having us.
Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. It's great.
Great.
I might have for it, but. Yeah.
As they run.
I'll be back in if you want.
Funny that I see you here before I see you.
Paint
Thank
the
you.
floor.
Here, thank you.
Right?
I think so.
Well, you guys are still going to do the same thing, but there's no sense in next meeting and reading it and then.
What I'm asking is where are we going?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what, right on here? I'm on here.
5 to 6 a.m.
All right, back on track.
Back to 6A, yeah.
6A, and Mr. Holt had a conflict, so he's left the office. So I need a motion, please.
So, well, do you want to?
What do you mean?
Yeah, so 6A was,
So,
Any preamble about this, or what do you?
yeah, so, the Capital Regional Service, Commission, they don't feel that they have to come and do this presentation when all the documentation is given to you guys. So instead of just coming in and reading it and us not having kind of any feedback. So this way you guys have the information, you've read it ahead of time, and if you have any questions, then they will take it back, so they take it back to their prac. So with this, it is the U-Haul that is up around the storage area right here. And so there wasn't any issues with that. So they are just asking if council would make a motion to recommend that they take that to prac for the next steps.
Because they made a recommendation that we follow through in the material they sent out earlier. Their recommendation
Yeah,
was to
and this
accept
one
it.
here,
Yep,
yeah.
and that was sent out with our package for council.
Yeah, but if it's going to prac, we don't technically, unless we have feedback, we don't technically need to do anything.
No, so with this evening, if you have any, then we will take that back to council, or back to Capital Regional Service Commission. But always in the past, we've always said that we recommend that we've always made that motion
Okay.
or whatever, because council should be on board kind of thing. So if you're not, then you would say that you're not, and if you are.
If you had questions or whatnot, now would be the time to send them back to the Service Commission.
Yeah.
If we don't have any questions and we're in agreement, we basically make a motion to allow the U-Haul rentals to be at the, I guess that property sold, which I didn't know.
I wondered when I saw the different signage. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's been under new ownership for
Yeah.
quite a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't realize it sold. So I thought they were just expanding the business, taking on U-Haul, so.
I wasn't sure, but I kind of wondered when the signage all changed. So really the only difference is that we're going to rent vehicles rather
Yeah, they're running
that they didn't before.
rather than just have rental space, they're actually having a U-Haul outlet there. Which is certainly good for Hamwell. I mean, before you had to go to the closest place was down, I believe, in the industrial park.
That's right, yes.
So it's certainly handy for Hamwell residents. And the Service Commission certainly had no issues with
No.
being a compatible use. They did put some limiting conditions in there, which we'd read in our motion, so.
Yeah, I stopped by to ask them about, because I often rent trailers, and the nearest one that stocks trailers is actually on the north side. The one at the industrial park in the city doesn't. Like, dump trailers and stuff like that,
Oh,
for gravel.
I
Yeah.
didn't
So I
know
gotta go
that.
all the way over to Canada Street just to get a trailer, and all the way back. It'd be great having, I still like, you get some trailers then, that's the way they're looking at it, so that'd be great.
So they've got the trucks, they've got the trailers, they've got the vans, it's a full
It's gonna be a full service one, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
So if nobody has any issues or any questions, then we'll move on and make a motion to accept it.
Yeah, I don't know what.
I suspect they'll probably park most of them in the back. I don't think they have a
Yes.
lot of space. Is that what, is that?
If you look at the
Yeah, that's
plan,
some of
that
them
goes
are-
in the plan, yeah, there's a plan that shows the parking out back.
And there's like a few display out front or something, right?
Mm.
And it's
Yeah, they've got
actually,
a few vehicles parked out front just for
show.
advertising, it's a U-Haul set
Yeah,
up.
it's actually one of the terms and conditions
Yeah.
in there that it's not to be parked in the front yard.
I missed that.
Oh, okay, well, if we needed a motion for that. So I, Councilor McKenzie, recommend that the Planning Review and Adjustment Committee, the Capital Regional Service Commission, allow the use of a U-Haul rental operation on PID number 7551-7326 and PID number 7551-7334 in the mixed-use zone of the Hamwell Rural Plan Bylaw 11-2016, subject to the following terms and conditions. A, that the U-Haul operation adhere to any applicable government acts and regulations. B, that no more than a combined total of 30 vehicles, automobiles are displayed. 1, that no more than 3 of the 30 rental vehicles are permitted to be parked in the front yard as shown in the conceptual plan submitted by the applicant. C, that all signs be in accordance with Hamwell bylaw number 10-2015, a bylaw to regulate signs. D, in accordance with any applicable Department of Transportation and Infrastructure policies. E, that parking be in accordance with the applicable provisions of section 3.3 of the Hamilton Rural Plan Bylaw 11-2016. F, that outdoor lighting be located, arranged or shielded as to not interfere with traffic proceeding along Route 640 or with nearby landowners in the reasonable enjoyment of their properties. G, that no automobile repair be performed on site. H, that the property owner shall ensure that stormwater is managed on site and not impact abutting properties. I, that no derelict vehicles be stored on the properties. J, that a 3-meter wide tree buffer or 2-meter high fencing or combination of both must be constructed and maintained along the property perimeter to provide visual screening and noise buffering to preserve the neighborhood character of the surrounding areas. And K, that building permits be obtained from the Capital Regional Service Commission before the construction or locating of any structure.
Can I have a seconder, please?
Councillor DeCleva, second.
Any questions, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. Thank you, council. And we can just, Okay. Now moving on to item 7, business arising from consent section is the first one is the Yoho Park property, and our CAO has some information to bring us up to date on that.
Okay, council, so we discussed about clearing the lot that we purchased from the Scouts. So I was talking to Capital Regional Service Commission, and they said that it really shouldn't take long to clear this property, which is what we thought. But to really make sure that we say in the quote, if you would like to have the trees cut and removed, or if we want them chipped, because 2 different contractors can kind of be bidding on this, and if we don't really specify, then they're not really, prices aren't going to be compared apples to apples kind of thing. So we have compiled a list of contractors that we can provide the quote to, and we will make sure that we tell them that we'd like to have this finished before March 31st, just in case of the road closures and stuff. So I guess the question is, how do you see this to be done?
Is
Councilor McKenzie.
one preferred over the other? One way preferred over the other? Like what's the difference? I don't know the difference between
One is chipping and not taking out the stumps, the other one is clearing the trees either by chipping, but the stumps have to be removed also, that's my understanding.
I don't know.
But you
that-
could say that the stumps are removed
Yeah.
and
Well, yeah, the stumps are gonna be removed.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I'm not familiar with that part of it. Now, I know there's some big wood on it. I don't see you chipping
No.
something this big. Like, I don't really understand what Lonnie was getting at, as to whether we want it chipped or, I mean, we want the stumps out. We don't care if they take the stumps away, or if they,
They leave the
I don't-
shavings versus completely
well, I don't
remove the
know,
wood.
I don't know that anybody, I'm not familiar, like, I didn't see what they did out here. I'm honestly not familiar.
we removed the trees.
Remove the trees and
Out here,
remove
because-
the stumps.
Yeah, and that's obviously what we wanna have done.
That's what we want to
I
have
don't care
done.
how they take the trees out of there and the stumps, as long as it's gone.
Yeah,
Trees removed, stumps removed, and debris or branches, remnant branches, etc., chipped and mulched,
Or taken off the property.
or taken off the property.
see what Lee's got.
I think what he's referring to is so a lot of them now when they chip out, or like when they're clearing lots now, bigger contractors, they'll bring a machine in with a chipping head on it.
Yeah,
And they'll mow them all down, then they'll stump it out. And what he's saying is that we got that option, or somebody else could come along and say, I'll cut all the trees down, stump it for an X amount less.
yeah,
That's what he's getting.
yeah, yeah.
We want the property.
At the end of the day,
Clear.
we want it clear.
Clear,
Yeah,
yeah.
trees gone, branches gone, stumps gone.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we want any remediation dumped in, bring in some fill or whatever. I think
Right.
once they took the stumps out and
Yeah.
left the property,
Yeah.
that should be good enough.
Because once we decide, I mean, part will need probably fill or something, like where your parking lot's gonna be, obviously you'll need maybe fill as opposed to where you're just gonna landscape, where you're gonna put your, you know, your stuff, your playground equipment, then that area will need whatever it needs for
I think what we
leveling.
want is just, like I said, to have everything removed, including
Yeah.
stumps, in the property level.
And
So same as what we did out here on the access road is what I will
Yeah,
put in the
simple.
quote.
what
Same thing they did in the
What did
fire
they do
hall.
out there? Did they haul the trees away? Okay. I think you may have more people bid, because anybody who doesn't have a big chipper head on their machine
yeah.
will not, be able to bid on it, and it's not a very big area.
So whether they chip them and take the chips away, or, well,
No.
as long as everything's gone off the site, that's what we want to imply.
Right.
I
Make
see
sure
what
all the
Lonnie's
trees,
saying.
debris, and branches are removed.
Yeah,
A lot clearer.
yeah, we want the
So I'll
lot
just say the trees removed, stumps cleared, so I'll take the wording that was more or less right in our tender that was
Yeah.
out here in the access, so that.
I see what he's getting at, kind of.
I put in this, in the end, to make sure the site is clear of all debris. So that's branches, stumps, chips, whatever, gone.
Squirrels, chipmunks,
They're not debris.
Weasels?
weasels.
So we need a motion, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's out here.
I, Councillor DeCleve, I move to authorize and direct the clerk to obtain quotes for the clearing of a 20-meter by 65-meter portion of the property, PID number 75557645, for a future recreation park area in Yoho.
Can I have a seconder?
Hi, Deputy Mayor Jonah, second that.
Okay, any questions, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried, thank you. Now moving on to item B, Regional Aquatic Center. Again, our CAO has some information for us on the summary side.
Okay, so, with the pool, the motion of the board, at the Capital Regional Service Commission was that we were not in favor of the proposed project. Since then, the meetings have still been going on with us CAOs. Many of us feel that we shouldn't have to attend these if the motion of council is not for this project. So the money that was collected from councils back in 2016, that was to get this project to the design phase. So we're still in that process, and that's where we are right now. But many of us kind of feel that it really doesn't matter, kind of thing. So I'm just asking that you give me permission to no longer attend these meetings, and then until a decision is made of how they want to move forward with this, or if they're just not going to move forward for sure, kind of thing.
Well, I agree fully. I, Councillor McKenzie, move to support the CAO's decision to no longer attend the meetings on the design phase of the Regional Aquatic Center project, where the decision of council was to not move forward with the project as presented, and for the mayor to address this at the Capital Regional Service Commission meeting.
I, Councillor Holt, will second.
Any questions, comments, council? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried,
I
thank
just
you.
have only one question, not in regard to our motion, but why is design stage gone on for 9 years?
So it really hasn't. The design phase, we've just got to that phase in the last probably
2 years.
6 months
Oh,
or so.
really? Because it seems we budgeted the money
Yeah.
Years ago.
years ago.
Yeah, but there was a lot of changes and everything else, and
Is that not
so it's
considered design?
just now kind of getting the design.
For pool.
Yeah.
Okay, item 8, website design. I believe our CEO has a summary for us.
Okay, so our current website provider has sold the company. In the past, we had discussed about looking into other companies just to make sure that we're financially responsible and that they're all aware of any malicious attacks that could happen. Now that we have taken over the fire department services, I thought this would be a very beneficial time for us to put out RFPs for people to look at both of our websites and kind of unify them. So I think for due diligence, we should be seeing if we are getting the bang for the buck.
Doesn't hurt to shop around.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, you want a motion?
Can I have a motion?
Sure. I, Deputy Mayor Jonah, move and authorize and direct the clerk to do a request for proposal, RFP, for the Hamel website as well as the Upper Kingsclear Hamel Fire Department website, and to provide hosting services.
Seconder, please.
I, Councillor Mackenzie, second.
Okay, any questions, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried, thank you. And last but not least, our office expansion, and I'm gonna turn it over again to our CAO for comments.
Okay, so I think that we should have put on the agenda different wording. I think maybe it should have been office renovation instead of expansion. Social
Yeah.
media seems to think, I think that we're building a big piece on this building possibly. So with that, all we are thinking of doing is really adding 2 walls, because we've already got this wall and the wall to my office, so we're just making the other 2 walls to make an office. And then one of our boardrooms, we will be converting that to another space. So the retractable wall that is between the boardroom and the community center, we will have to put in a wall, a permanent wall there, and have it painted on both sides. So when I was talking to the Capital Regional Service Commission, he stated that we do need to get a building permit for egress and fire separations. And he said it's recommended that we have a plan in place before just putting out these RFPs and stuff, or tenders, knowing exactly what we want so that we don't have a number of changes. My recommendation, he said we should send them out like to different architects and contractors or whatever. I really think it would be beneficial for us to contact Gauguin. They've already done the plans already for the building. This area was in the original plans already an office, and at the time we didn't need it to be, so that's where we put the couch and the chairs and stuff. So I think it would probably be a lot cheaper to have them look at it instead of contractors and architects having to come in. They already know what the wiring is, what the electrical is, the fire separations, etc. So I definitely, if it's okay with you guys, I would like to send out a tender like to them for sure. But I really think that that would be our cheapest way and probably a lot quicker. And then it will just be hiring a contractor. So I could talk to whoever the architect is and see if that's something that they would do on our behalf, or if it's something that we have to do, so.
They could probably go back to the original plan that had that as an
Yeah,
office anyway.
exactly,
So
yeah.
they probably already got it done.
I have a question.
Sure.
Do we need to make a motion? Is this not just an operational thing that you could be looking after internally?
You guys usually direct us to do tenders and quotes and
Is it above our
stuff like that.
threshold?
So
Yeah, there's money involved with this, and it wasn't,
Yeah.
we really should.
Okay.
Okay. I, Councillor Holt, move to authorize and direct the clerk to get quotes from architects and contractors to renovate the municipal building to accommodate new office space and to get any necessary permits and approvals.
I, Councillor Dooley, second.
One note here then, or discussion phase, just did a quick look at it, make sure the proposal, the tender or whatever, or the requests have a potential reallocation of the HVAC. It looks like it's gonna need to move a couple things in the drop ceiling there, so that plan may have changed from the location of where they were in the original plans, just to make note of that whatever the thing includes, that it also has investigation of that. Then we'll just put walls up and having the HVAC up along the side of the wall and not properly distributing the airflow in the room. Something to make note of.
Any other questions, comments?
Yeah, I have a question.
Sure. Councillor Fox?
Hey, I'm surprised you guys can hear me still. So, what I'm wondering, like, I really like that space, and I kind of hate to see see it turned into offices. I know we need the extra office space. Is it possible to do the offices in the boardroom space and keep that space the way it is?
Yes,
Yeah, probably be a lot cheaper
Yeah.
It'd be a lot
Yeah.
nicer,
and a lot nicer.
yeah.
So like
I-
And we still have our lobby, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I think it's not.
That's a good
bad.
idea.
That's a
Yeah.
good idea, Tim.
I think
Yeah.
that's a great
Yeah.
idea, Councillor Fox.
Thank you. That's kind of where I'm at, because that space, I know that many times, just as council, like after council, like sometimes we just gather there, just really kind of a social gather spot, and it's just, I don't know, it's a nice spot. And it's also a nice place when people come in and maybe they have a meeting, like they can sit while they wait maybe for their appointment and so on and so forth. So like, that was my thought. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And if that's the case, then does that still, is the motion still good? I think it
Yeah, the
is.
motion's still
Yeah.
in.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the motion's very general.
Okay, thank you.
It's a well brought up thought, Tim.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good.
Any other questions, comments?
No.
Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried, thank you. Item 9, proclamations, we don't have any. Upcoming activities, item 10 is a public meeting, Hanwell Rural Plan Bylaw, Hanwell Place, January 30th from 6:30 to 8:30. And I'm going to repeat that one more time. This is a public meeting for the review of the Hanwell Rural Plan Bylaw at Hanwell Place, January 30th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. And hopefully we'll get some participation from the public.
and with that, the social media posts will go out tomorrow. My administrator just got back today, was trying to catch up from being off for a bit, so.
Yeah, this is the opportunity for the public to come and have a look at the rural plan and have any suggestions, anything they want council to hear. This is their opportunity. Okay, other than that, we're going to move into closed sessions, so I need a motion to go into closed session.
Aye, Council.
Go for it. I, Councillor Heislip, move to go into closed session.
Seconded.
Aye, Councillor Holt, second that motion.
Questions, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried. We are now in closed session. Okay, motion to go into closed session,
Aye,
please.
Councillor Holt, move to come out of closed session and go back to open session.
Seconder.
Hi, Councillor Fox, second.
There we go.
Questions, comments? All those in favor of coming to closed session, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded?
What if you wanna stay here forever?
Motion carried, thank you. All right, we have a motion that Councillor Dooley's going to read first.
I, Councillor Dooley, move to authorize and direct the Capital Region Service Commission to proceed with legal action on PAN number 03654028 under bylaw number 32-2024, a bylaw respecting dangerous or unsightly premises.
Seconder.
Aye, Councillor Holt will second the motion.
Any questions, comments? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried, thank you. Second motion, Councillor McKenzie.
I, Councillor McKenzie, move to authorize and direct the CAO to continue with working with the property owner on the purchase and sales agreement as per the cost previously agreed upon, and to advise the surveyor that the property area should be done as a single lot.
Seconder.
Councillor Crouch, second.
Comments, questions? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary minded? Motion carried, thank you, council. That pretty well wraps up everything for tonight. We got the date, time, location for the next meeting, would be regular council meeting, council chambers, February the 19th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Can I get a motion to adjourn, please?
Move to adjourn.
Meeting adjourned at 8:15.